They say we talk just alike, walk just alike, same damn swagger when we rock up on the.
Now, let's segue into Sean. Sean don't have to hear people saying he's ass or nothing like that. He just he lets his music speak for himself. Now
we see where that got him.
Exactly.
That's why niggas think he ass.
I said in a video that I dropped, which I dropped today, if you were listening to this like today, I dropped a video today saying that Big Sean wasn't a GOAT. He wasn't a legend. He's always just been good. He's always just been good to where he just can't be great. It's just Big Sean. I don't know what it is for me. He just sounds generic. He doesn't have any special aesthetic to him. Whenever I just look at Big Sean, I just see a nigga in a chain. That's it. Like
it's crazy because some people wouldn't even agree with what you just said, saying he's always been just a good rapper. Some niggas won't even give you that. A lot of people think he didn't become good till Dark Sky Paradise. Niggas really hate Finally Famous and Hall of Fame. But that's when he made the big improvement to Dark Sky Paradise. So he really only be a good rapper for like 5 years.
And that's sad as fuck.
Depending on who you
like
ask.
Yeah, that's sad as hell, bro. Because like you said, his initial come up was around the time Drake came up, you know, J. Cole, Kendrick. It was a good time for music, and it was the best time to etch your name and become great because Drake was already letting people know he was great. Cole was already letting people know he was great. Kendrick was letting people know he was great. Nicki was already, you know what I'm saying? Nicki was stomping her name in the fucking Rap Hall of Fame already. And Nicki, you know what I'm saying, probably had a faster rise onto becoming greater than all the guys that you just mentioned. Because put into perspective that people don't really divide overall rap and then female rap. If you can become a GOAT in female rap fast, naturally you become I'm stuttering, my bad. You can become a GOAT in just music overall or rap to, generalize. Now, Big Sean, he fucked his opportunity up because instead of trying to be on the same wavelength that these niggas were on, you want to talk about ass, and talking about some fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like all that bullshit, bro. And that fucked him up because now you want to be serious when they have already, by the time you were serious, them niggas already had their platinum plaques. Them niggas already had their.
So you already fell behind the pack.
Exactly, bro. Like you're late as hell, and it's like, bro, now you're trying to play catch up, and it's too late because you what you in your 30s? You know what I'm saying? All these niggas in their 30s, it's like, bro, they're in the. If Drake decided to retire today, you really think he's losing sleep?
So let me think about this shit though. What was everybody's first album? Cold War: The Sideline Story. Not Roman Reloaded. Roman's Revenge. What was Nicki Minaj's first album? I'm tripping. Pink Friday.
Pink Friday, yep.
Okay, Pink Friday, Cold War: The Sideline Story, Good Kid, Mad City. No, Section 80. Wale, I have no fucking clue the name of any of his albums.
Now, take note, right? You just named 3 really good fucking albums. Now go ahead and name Big Sean's fucking album.
Finally, famous.
Exactly.
Jake was like, "Well, thank me later."
Bro. You just named 3 good, possibly great fucking albums. Classics, some people would say. Finally Famous is not a fucking classic album. That's a regrettable ass project he dropped. That shit.
I do it, boy.
Yeah, like, nah, dog. Come on, bro. And don't be out here talking about you represent Detroit. Fuck no. Nah, bro. We don't do that shit down here.
Now here's the thing with that album though, Finally Famous, because after actually listening to that shit, bro, he got some shit on that album. It's just the most popular songs are the ones that are conveniently the worst. Like that ass shit, I Do It. Those are like 2 of the worst songs on that album, but those are the biggest ones. But he got some shit, bro. Like So Much More, great fucking song. Wait for Me with Lupe Fiasco. Memories Part 2 with John Legend. Like all 3 of those. I bet you haven't heard any 3 of those songs, have you?
It's crazy because shit, the 2 niggas you named, Lupe and John, I fully expect them niggas to carry this nigga.
Did you even know Big Sean had a song with Lupe Fiasco?
Hell no.
See, that's crazy, and that's one of the best songs on that Finally Famous album. But niggas don't know it because like it wasn't hype. Like it didn't get no fame. Niggas only know that the weakest songs.
Niggas barely talk about Lupe. That's the sad part.
Yeah,
that's
some
crazy.
people just the whole Kendrick Lupe better lyricist argument. Niggas just saying Kendrick because that's the only nigga they listen to.
That's the only time you really hear about Lupe is when they're doing comparisons. And then the fact that you have to compare him to Kendrick makes you really scratch your head and wonder why people aren't talking about him more because to even be in the same gravity with Kendrick is fucking mind numbing because Kendrick's
Right.
lyricism
I
is,
never even
you
thought
know,
about that. You right. You didn't see a single person say, why y'all comparing Lupe to Kendrick? That's disrespectful. Not a single person has said that. Because they know
no
it's a
one's
legit
saying that.
comparison.
No one's saying that. Everyone is really like it's a fair matchup because they do have the same kind of, you know what I'm saying, aesthetic and skill set to where it's fair to make that assessment. You can even throw Cole or someone else in that conversation and Lupe and Kendrick will still wind up being the stars of that conversation. Now, you can't throw a nigga like Sean in there because it's like, you know what I'm saying?
The nigga nominated for best series lyricist of the year.
Yeah, bro, come on now. Like, okay, let's even compare Kendrick's discography versus Lupe's discography versus Sean's discography. You know what the sad part is? Niggas will really sit here and fucking lie and say Sean has a better discography than Lupe, only simply due to the fact, only because of clout. That's another thing I want to talk about here on this episode.
For sure.
Clout is not a measurement for talent. Clout is, at the end of the day, when you're sitting up here telling yourself, okay, well, I got a couple of people I want to suggest for greatest rapper of all time or put on a top 100. You got to take clout out of that conversation. You do. Because let's go back, let's talk about the Tupacs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Take away all of Tupac's attention and just factor in his rapping. Is he top 5?
A lot of people will say no to that. A ton of people. But
Okay.
they immediately bring up his influence and impact.
Exactly. You factor in a lot.
I was watching the old ass Everyday Struggle video back when Joe Budden was on there. And they was talking about whether Cameron is a overrated rapper or underrated. And then Academics was like, bro, Cameron is like top 20. Like, he top 20 in my book. And then the entire time he was explaining why Cameron was top 20, he didn't say shit about Cam's rapping ability, his flow, storytelling, bars, none of that. This nigga Academic spit the entire description talking about, well, when I was in high school, when I was in college, like Cameron, he was just that nigga. Everybody wanted to be like him, the way he dressed. Like, everybody in Dipset was so cool. I'm like, okay, but what about his rapping skills? Like, you didn't say shit about that. That goes perfectly into what you were saying.
Well, first things first, anything Academic said can be taken with a fucking grain of salt with his fat ass. But because that man is just a major, the biggest cap artist in mainstream music today. I mean, we could make a whole topic on Academics, but that's a whole different day.
Wasn't he in your least favorite YouTuber video? He
is for sure. He's one of my least favorite people on this fucking earth. I mean, from the bottom of my heart, if I ever saw Academics just walking, I would just suck this nigga with all my force and not have regrets. I mean, that's just a cancerous person right there. The man gets fame from exploiting weaknesses and, letting people know other people's flaws, all the while he's raking in cash and other people are sitting here wanting his head for that shit. And there's a lot of other people that do that. That's journalism. I get that. Because here we are sitting here saying that Sean isn't a legend. But here's the difference. I have respect for Sean. I have respect for the fact that Big Sean is a Detroit-made, good-ass rapper. And he has the lyricism. He has my respect. Big Sean has a good, damn near great discography. But it's not a legendary discography. That's exactly
I didn't even know that you thought that. Did you just say Big Sean has a great discography? I didn't even know you thought
damn
that.
Damn near great.
You don't even like his first 2 albums, so how can you give him that?
Now, see, that's where all the credit, that's how impressive that Big Sean is starting to become. Because taking into consideration that we can split his time in half and say, okay, you've really been good for 5 years. And yet he still has time to put himself in the atmosphere of the Coles, the Kendricks, and the Drakes. It's just Drake is a megastar, a global phenomenon. Kendrick is a megastar, a global phenomenon. Cole is a star, probably not a global phenomenon, but a legend nonetheless, if you ask a lot of people. Nicki, another global phenomenon, but Big Sean is not in that conversation. He's not a global phenomenon. He's more so of, in the United States, he can be banging. He can be, you go to fucking Russia or some shit. See if you don't hear some nigga listen to, he's on Cat My Vibe, but in, Russia language and shit.
In Russian?
Yeah, in Russian, yeah. So.
That nigga said in Russian language.
I didn't want to say in Russian because I don't know why that shit sounded weird.
You good,
it is how he's supposed to say it. But yeah, in Russia, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You could go over there, you know what I'm saying? How people could recognize Michael Jordan as the greatest basketball player of all time anywhere on this earth, or LeBron James, or a Larry Bird, or a Magic Johnson. No, everyone when it comes to rap is going to say something like Eminem, Tupac, Biggie, Ice Cube, probably not even Ice Cube, but they're not mentioning anyone like Big Sean. And it's sad because they'll mention Drake, they'll mention Cole, they'll mention Kendrick, they'll even fucking mention Lupe before they mention Sean. Now,
here's the thing with that though. That's one thing that some people say is that Big Sean. This brings up the whole legend in his own right conversation, because some people think Big Sean could be considered great, could be considered a legend if he wasn't compared to all those other people. Like this entire time, we just been talking about his status compared to a J. Cole or a Kendrick or a Nicki. But like, why does he have to be compared to them anyway? Why can't he be a legend in his own right?
now in his own right, we kind of had this conversation as well, but in his own right, Big Sean couldn't even tell himself that he's a legend. He couldn't even lie to himself and tell himself he's a legend. Go back, and I'm pretty sure the whole aesthetic behind his change. When you have to tell people when you have to tell people I'm on some different shit now. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm on a different wavelength. If you have to tell people that you're now taking shit seriously, you have just admitted that you are bullshitting to start your career off, which means you think that either that the shit you were doing was not good enough, or that there was something that you need to improve. Now tell me this: why would you need to improve if you thought your shit was good?
That's the thing. He thought his shit was good. Then niggas started telling him it wasn't. So he was like, "Oh damn, I guess I got to switch up."
Shit, you call it switching up. I call it. I'm gonna forget I made that shit, and you know this is where this is real. Like if man, that nigga thinks that his real start was 2013 or 14 or some shit. You know, his view was just one of the most disappointing that you can give somebody, because I remember school, middle school, everything when Big Sean initially first came out. This man was on, you know what I'm saying, and we're all YouTube watchers here. This man was on worst rapper right now lists, and you know what I'm saying, worst, you know, the corniest rapper out, and oh, he has no future if he keeps rapping. There were people that were more against Big Sean than for him. That's not the aesthetic right now. There are people that actually, you know what I'm saying, like Meek Mill was an L for a second back in the day. And the same thing can really be said about Meek Mill. Meek Mill, I think, is not a legend either.
I'm actually not mad at that take. I ain't mad at that take, really. It depends on it. That's one of them things where it all depends on who you ask. If you tell that to a Philadelphia nigga, they gonna say you capping for sure. So that's because that's his hometown. Yeah. Of course, they gonna think he a legend.
For sure. The hometown, and that's fucked up because Philadelphia people can sit up here and have a
I think I already know. I already think I already know where you want to go with this.
I'm a Detroit nigga telling y'all that Big Sean ain't shit.
I knew that's what you was about to say.
I'm a Detroit nigga telling y'all that another Detroit nigga ain't shit. I can admit when he ain't shit. I can admit when Sada Baby ain't shit. I can admit when T Grizzly ain't shit. I'll tell you when all these niggas ain't doing shit. Man, Big Sean ain't shit as opposed to the legend conversation. You can't talk about him. And Meek Mill is in that same boat. You can't fucking bring him up. Meek Mill, go ahead. What has he dropped? What album has he dropped that you can consider a classic or something that's great? Really now.
Meek Mill?
Meek Mill.
Oh, for sure his mixtapes. For sure his mixtape, bro.
And that's wild because guess what? Shit. We're talking about Drake. I can tell you fucking I can tell you about 3 classics that I'm not even a Drake fan. And I can tell you 3 damn great albums he has versus his damn mixtapes. And his mixtapes were just that much, they were still good as fuck. If you're reading this and it's too late, was the best fucking project put out that year. You couldn't fucking convince me otherwise that anyone dropped anything better than Drake that year. But his albums are still better. Views was still better than that. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's another reason why niggas would consider Meek Mill a legend too. The whole like Dream Chasers, Flamers, and all that shit, bro. Nigga. And then of course Dreams and Nightmares. People love Meek Mill. Well, Dreams and Nightmares was an album, but you know what I mean.
Now, here's the thing with those. I think people cling more to nostalgia than to remember that they actually enjoyed the albums because shit.
100%. That's why I'm clapping 100%, bro. Niggas will, bro. It'll be like the most mediocre mixtape. Niggas would just beef it up, just overhype it. I listened to that shit a lot when I was in my sophomore year of high school. Like, bro, shit's still garbage.
Exactly. That don't mean shit today. That's like, okay, that's like, say, you know what I'm saying? I play a 2K and it's trash for right now. I go back to it 2 years later, I play it. I'm like, this shit was actually live. Like, this shit good. Nigga, no, it was ass back then and it's ass now. Your standards just changed.
Right.
So you go ahead and tell yourself that, oh, maybe that was the worst thing for that year and then shit got worse. And then you go back and say, this actually wasn't that bad considering what's coming out right now. You know what I'm saying? That is
a song. Yep, a song's like itself or an album. This applies to anything, a movie, whatever. Nothing changes over time. Your perception to it changes over time.
Exactly.
If it's a song you heard back in 2007, you was like, bro, this shit is incredible. And then 13 years later, 2020, you said this shit garbage. Like, nigga, it was always garbage. You was attracted to that kind of shit back then. But it was always the same fucking song.
Exactly, which I actually want to segue into that, into 21 Savage's album I listened to yesterday, his Savage Mode 2. It was, I said a 5 when I first was listening to it because it was shit that was just not making sense on there. Mm-hmm. And then I got further into the album and each song made that damn rating go up. And then when I was done, I said, this album's a 9. This is a good fucking project right here.
That shit shot up from a 5 to a 9 just off the second half?
Just based off the second half. And then it's crazy because I seen, I forget, I'm not going to say the YouTuber's name, but he said that the album was better in the first half rather than the second half.
Nigga, it was Blackie, bro. I know who said it. It was Blackie.
Okay, all right, cool. I just didn't want to, sure.
I mean, the nigga, bro, he put it on like Twitter, like where everybody can see it. It's not like he got to hide that shit. He said it. He'll stand by it, I'm sure. Yeah.
All right, well, Blackie said that, and I said, I digress. I think the second half was much better than the first. 21 was getting emotional in the second half. And, he was kind of on, like, I've never heard 21 Savage in that light before. And it sounded good to experiment and then knock the shit out the park. It's exactly what you want to do. And I want to say kudos to 21 Savage. That man is the most improved player of the fucking year, okay? 21 Savage went from, I get a lot of money. Can't hear the motherfucker, monotone as fuck, to, oh, niggas trapping, I'm a killer nigga, to any beat.
I mean, we're not going to act like No Heart with Metro Boomin on fire, though. Come on, now. We ain't got like that shit hard.
It could be fire, but it's just the style that just wasn't for me.
True.
So y'all quiet and sound like you can hear rats fucking behind the wall while you're talking. And it's like, it's just so fucking quiet. You can hear a rat piss on fucking cotton. It's just that damn quiet. And then you listen to people. You listen to people tell you what you can't do. And this is why Wale is a bitch. Because there's rappers that can hear this criticism right now and improve and not say shit about it and succeed just based off of what the people have been telling them to improve on. Wale hears, oh, bro, you shouldn't do this. And the nigga does it in the next song and says, I don't care what you think. This is why you ain't getting nominated for no fucking awards, because you don't listen. Because you think your shit don't stink. Well, guess what, motherfucker? Your discography and your shit stinks. Your discography stinks worse than your shit, probably. So, fuck Wale.
Now back to the cloud thing. With Sean, would you admit that he's one of the biggest rappers of the 2010s decade?
The biggest rappers of the 2010s decade, I will agree with. One of the greatest, completely disagree with. One of you put him in a conversation of one of the best rappers of any year. Bring up any year, and Big Sean. Now I'll admit 2020. Go ahead. Big Sean is at a fiery start to where you can go ahead and insert him into a top 20, top 15, top 10 conversation. He does deserve that much, But Big Sean to me has never been a top 10 guy. He's never been a top 10, top 5 guy. Big Sean is the type of guy to finish second and take that and be like, okay, well, I got to improve. And then fucking finish second again and be like, oh, well, okay, I got to improve. And here's the thing. Keep telling yourself that you're going to improve and never change up. because here's the thing with Big Sean. I get the same feeling after each and every single one of his songs. Plain, bland, the nigga says some catchy shit, boom, that's it. Song over. He says some things. He's good at making shit rhyme. He's good at making shit sound good. He's got a nice flow, a nice rap voice. He's got a, you know what I'm saying, Big Sean? If I was just listening to Big Sean, okay, fine. And then I look at him on top of fucking visualizing what he does, and then I once compared Big Sean. I once compared Big Sean to Melman off of fucking Madagascar, the fucking giraffe. Yeah, he just looks so fucking generic, and then add shit to it. That's what Melman was to me for that movie franchise. Just a fucking giraffe just talking. That's Big Sean in the rap game. He's Melman. He's just a guy who makes music to me.
Damn. So now, in regards really quick to the popularity and legend status thing again, you consider Mac Miller a legend, and me and you both know that Big Sean is more famous, more popular than Mac Miller. So how do you what's the difference between that?
Now, I listen to both guys, and I listen to both guys about the same wavelength within each other.
I already think you capping, to be honest with you. You listen to Mac way more than Big Sean.
No. Yeah. I listen to Big. I have. Okay, let me change it up. I have more interest in listening to Mac Miller than I do Big Sean. But if I see them both dropping a song in the same day, I'm listening to both. But I'm going to listen to Mac Miller more so than I'm going to listen to Big Sean. So I do listen to both at the same. I will listen to both around the same time. I do listen to Big Sean. It's just there are other people more interesting. When I listen to Mac Miller, I got a guy who has one of the most unique styles of rap in the game. There is nobody in the game that really has a comparable style to a Mac Miller, unless you're talking about an Anderson .Paak or GoldLink, or actually fuck GoldLink. I'm not even going to mention him because GoldLink said that Mac Miller stole his flow, which I think is a reverse. You came second, buddy. So pay homage to who you studied. But I think Mac Miller has one of the most unique flows, the most unique styles in the game. He can go funkadelic, he can go straight Mac Miller stoner style, or he can just, you know what I'm saying, he can just flow. Now, Mac Miller can sound just like Big Sean too and just say shit on a track, but there are less songs than that. There of him having a special type of flow. Circles is highly disrespected this year. One of the best albums I've heard.
Is it just because it's not nominated at the BET shit? Is that it?
I mean, well, listen, if we're going to talk about the BET Awards, that fucking show, they nominated 2 white guys, I think. So, yeah, sure, black entertainment, fine. Are we going to forget that Logic dropped a good-ass album this year? That Eminem dropped a good-ass album? That fucking Mac Miller dropped a posthumous, I don't know how to say that word at all, posthumous. That dropped from the fucking grave, dropped a good album. I'm going to be 100% real. They're overrating the baby. They're overrating Megan Thee Stallion. They're overrating the fuck out of Future. They're overrating the hell out of Drake. Well, Drake deserves that respect and attention because he demands it.
And we all know the reason why, simply because they're the more popular artists. They be trying to blend it in by putting like a Rhapsody or some shit in there, but it's like y'all know y'all not actually about to pick these people.
Just like the Grammys. It's like the Grammys. They nominate H.E.R. her. They nominate her for awards, and they know good and fucking well she don't stand a chance against a Lizzo and a Billie Eilish. Like I don't even know why they fucking even think she stands a smidgen of a chance. They put these underdogs against like the Miami Heat and the Lakers. They put these fucking underdogs against these megastars. And they think they stand a chance, and people root, genuinely give all their respect and attention to the underdog, and yet the person that winds up with the award is that person that you didn't like. So it's like, who the fuck is voting? Because seriously, you say it's for the people, and then the people complain, and it's like, oh, well, we won't do it. What do they do next year? They're gonna nominate fucking probably Jack Harlow, fucking DaBaby again, the same motherfucking people. So it's like, you're not listening to nobody. But no, it's not because Mac Miller didn't get nominated for any of that. Mac Miller won't get nominated because Mac Miller's death was highly, propaganda to death. advertised to death. And we miss you, Mac. Oh, do you? But do you understand how talented he is? But you're not going to nominate him for any fucking awards, but you're going to nominate some bullshit like fucking Kirk that came out last year, or Baby on whatever the fuck came out first. The Baby has 2 fucking awards running in the same category, album of the year. You might, I'm a firm believer, if the Baby dropped 4 albums, they'd have nominated every fucking award.
Of course they would. Yeah. What is the calendar year end for that shit? Isn't like October? It starts to like the next October. I don't know.
Whatever you're about.
I don't understand how Big Sean's fucking nominated for Lyricist of the Year, but then Detroit 2 is not up for Album of the Year. Granted,
Exactly.
it just came out. I understand it just came out, but like y'all put this nigga on here for Lyricist of the Year, and he ain't dropped shit other than this album. So like, what are y'all judging this shit from?
Exactly. They fucking exposed themselves. So you're telling us your window closed around that time. So okay, yeah, fine, sure.
He dropped a few songs like that single again shit and Berserk with A$AP Ferg, but like, no, bro, y'all ain't not know him off them 3 fucking songs.
Hell no, you're not. You're telling me you're gonna nominate Big Sean based off of that, but NBA YoungBoy, Lil Uzi Vert, and Polo G missed the whole fucking award show in a whole. You're telling me that Eminem did not get a fucking look for a lyricism award? You put Megan Thee Stallion up for what the fuck are you? What?
Like, them niggas really act like they ain't had nobody else to choose from this year.
Like they did. Like, stop. Like, bro, I'm not shitting on Megan Thee Stallion. She can rap. She's not a fucking top tier lyricist. Is all I'm saying, people. The Baby ain't no goddamn spitter. He ain't no spitter. He say shit. He make it rhyme. He make it sound catchy. You know what I'm saying? There were some people that saying Drake was he's a pretty good lyricist, and I will agree. Drake can spit. Drake can say some nice shit. He can. So go ahead, put Drake on there. You were gonna put him on there anyways, but put Drake on there. You know, go ahead, do that. Put Drake on there. But then you got motherfuckers like J. Cole and Rhapsody on there, and I know exactly why you put him on there. J. Cole doesn't stand a fucking chance. He doesn't stand a fucking chance. You put J. Cole on there just to be like, oh yeah, haha. You know what I'm saying? He's the popular one, like how, remember when Kyle Korver was going in the 3-point contest and that nigga shat the bed, when he was an all-star? That's how they're doing J. Cole right now. Oh, he's the favorite to win Lyricist of the Year. Go ahead, expect him to win. And then fucking Drake winds up with the fucking award. And they're like, oh shit, how did this happen?